Exclusion from gross income are income which will not be subject to income tax. They are not included in gross income subject to regular tax, capital gains tax, or final tax. Under Section 32B of the NIRC, the following items shall not be included in gross income and shall be exempt from taxation. A. Proceeds of life insurance policy. B. Amount received by the insured as a return of premium. C. Gift, bequest, device, or descent. D. Compensation for injuries or sickness. E. Income exempt under treaty. F. Retirement benefits, pensions, gratuities, etc. G. Miscellaneous items. 1. Income in the Philippines of foreign government or foreign government-owned and controlled corporations. 2. Income of the government and its political subdivisions. 3. Prizes and awards in recognition of religious, charitable, scientific, educational, artistic, literary, or civic achievements. 4. Prizes and awards in athletic sports competition. 5. Contribution to GSIS, SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, and Union Dues. 6. Contributions to personal equity retirement account, PERA. 7. PERA investment income and PERA distributions. 8. 13th month pay and other benefits not exceeding 90,000. 9. Gains from sale of bonds, debentures, or certificates of indebtedness with maturity of more than 5 years. 10. Gains from redemption of shares in mutual. A. Proceeds of life insurance policy. Paid to the heirs of or beneficiaries upon the death of the insured, whether in a single sum or otherwise. However, in such amounts are held by the insurer under an agreement to pay interest thereon, the interest payment shall be included in the gross income. Life is regarded as a capital item with infinite value. Hence, the proceeds of life insurance is a return of capital. B. Amount received by the insured as a return of premium. Paid by him under life insurance, endowment, or annuity contract, either during the term or at the maturity of the term mentioned in the contract or upon surrender of the contract. Illustration 1. Life insurance contracts. Alberto is insured in a 1 million life insurance policy with annual premium payments of 20,000 for 10 years. If Alberto outlives the policy for the 10th year, he will be paid a 500 maturity value. Scenario 1. Alberto died on the 8th year of coverage and his heirs collected 1 million proceeds. The entire insurance proceeds of 1 million is not taxable. Scenario 2. Upon the death of Alberto, the insurance company negotiated for an extension of the payment of the proceeds wherein the insurance company shall pay 1,050,000 on the extended payment. The 1 million proceeds will not be taxed upon collection, but the 50,000 excess representing interest is a taxable item of gross income. Scenario 3. Alberto outlived the policy and collected the maturity value 50,000. The total proceeds shall be analyzed as total proceeds 500,000, return of premium 20,000 times 10 years equals to 200,000, return on capital, item of gross income 300,000. Scenario 4. After 6 years of payment, Alberto assigned the policy to Glino who paid him 130,000. Glino continued the premium payments for 2 more years after which Alberto died. Glino collected the 1 million insurance proceeds. The assignment or sale of the policy by Alberto to Glino for 130,000 resulted into 120,000 return of premiums and 10,000 taxable return of capital. The receipt of the insurance proceeds by Glino resulted in 170,000 return of capital and 830,000 taxable return on capital. There is loss of life in this scenario, but it does not pertain to the purchaser of the life insurance policy. Hence, the excess must be taxable to the heirs. Illustration 2. Life insurance of company officers. Alberto is insured by his employer corporation for 1 million with the employer corporation as the beneficiary. Alberto subsequently died and the corporation collected the 1 million life insurance proceeds. It is interesting to note that the entire proceeds under the insurance arrangement are held within the purview of the NICR exemption. Hence, it is not taxable. Property insurance contracts. The proceeds of property insurance contracts in excess of the tax basis of the property lost or destroyed is a taxable return on capital. Illustration: property insurance. Aztec Company secured a fire insurance covering the entire 2 million fair value of its office building. The building was completely destroyed by fire when the depreciated cost of the building was 1,800,000. Aztec recovered 2 million insurance proceeds. The total proceeds shall be analyzed as follows. Total proceeds: 2 million, less basis of property destroyed, return of capital, 1,800,000. Return on capital items of gross income, 200,000. C. Gift, bequest, devise, or descent. The value of property acquired, gift, bequest, devise, or descent by provided, however, that income from such property as well gift, bequest, devise, or descent of income from any property in cases of transfers of divided interest shall be included in gross income. Illustration: Mark received a restaurant business as a gift on April 1, 2020. On that date, the restaurant had total properties amounting for 100,000 including 50,000 cash income earned since January 1, 2020. The restaurant posted an additional 150,000 cash income from April 1 to December 31, 2020. The transfer of business property worth 400,000 to Mark is gratuity subject to transfer tax, income tax. However, the 50,000 donated income shall be included in gross income, but in the income tax return of the donor, the 150,000 income of the donated property after the perfection of the donation is included as item of gross income in the tax return of Mark, the donor. Gifts distinguished from exchange. The transferor's intention or motive must be evaluated in determining whether the transfer is a gift or an exchange. Gifts are characterized by pure liberality or disinterested generosity and are given without any consideration. An exchange always involves a construction. Employment gratuities. Gratuities given under an employer-employee relationship are normally treated in exchange for services rendered by employees. Hence, they are subject to income tax. The transfer of properties by the employer to managerial or supervisorial employees is generally subject to fringe benefit tax. Christmas or major anniversary gifts granted by the employer to employees are the minimis benefits subject to income tax. D. Compensation for injuries or sickness. Amounts received through accident or health insurance or under Workmen's Compensation Act as compensation for personal injuries or sickness, plus the amounts of any damages received, whether by suit or agreement, on account of such injuries or sickness. Illustration 1. Andrew was hit by a jeepney. He paid 100,000 for hospitalization expenses. He sued the jeepney driver and was awarded by the court a total indemnity of 340,000 divided as follows: 200,000 indemnity for his pain, anguish, and sufferings, 40,000 for his lost salaries, and 100,000 as reimbursement for his hospital bills. The 200,000 indemnity and the 100,000 reimbursement for hospitalization expenses are non-taxable returns of capital. Note that health is a capital item with infinite value. However, the 40,000 reimbursement for his lost salary is a recovery of lost profit, hence an item of gross income. Illustration 2. Mr. Pogi's brand new car, which he bought for 1,200,000, was totally wrecked in a car collision. Mr. Pogi escaped unharmed. He was paid 1,300,000 for the accident. The 100,000 excess indemnity is an item of gross income. Note that the law pertains to personal physical injury rather than injury to rights to property. E. Income exempt under treaty. Income items that are excluded by international agreement to which the Philippine government is a signatory are excluded from income tax. It must be recalled that treaty agreements override provisions of our revenue tax laws in case of conflict under exemption doctrine of International Committee. F. Retirement benefits, pensions, gratuities, and other benefits. 1. Retirement benefit under RA 7641 and those received by officials and employees of private firms in accordance with a reasonable private benefit plan maintained by the employer. Requisites of exemption. A. This is the first time availment of retirement benefit exemption. B. The retiring official of employee has been in the service of the same employer for at least 10 years. C. The retiring employee is at least 50 years of age at the time of retirement. D. The employer maintains a reasonable private benefit plan. A reasonable private plan means a pension, gratuity, stock bonus, or profit-sharing plan maintained by an employer for the benefit of some or all of his officials and employees, wherein contributions are made by such employer for the officials or the employees or both for the purpose of distributing to such officials and employees. Illustration 1. Angel was employed in 1990 when she was 25 years old. In 2010, she availed of the early retirement program of her employer. Angel satisfied the 10 years cumulative employment requirements, but she is only 45 years old at that time of her retirement. The retirement benefit is taxable. It is an inclusion gross income as compensation income. Illustration 2. Assume that Angel joined another employer and worked therein for 7 more years, after which she retired from her employment. Although Angel is 50 years old by then, she is only 7 years under the employee of her second employer. The second retirement benefit is also taxable as compensation income since she failed the residency requirement. Illustration 3. Assume instead that Angel was 30 years old when she joined her first employer and worked therein for 20 years after she retired at 50. She immediately joined another employer and retired after 10 years of service when she was 60 years old. The first retirement benefit from the first employer is exempt since Angel is 50 years old and has rendered at least 10 years of service. The second retirement benefit from the second employer is taxable even if she meet the residency and age requirements, since retirement benefit exemption can be availed of only once in a lifetime. 1. Separation or termination. Requisite of exemption. The separation or termination must be due to job-threatening sickness, deaths, or other physical disability, and the same must be due to any cause beyond the control of the employee or official, such as A. Redundancy, B. Retrenchment, C. Closure of employer's business, D. Employee layoff, E. Downsizing of employer's business, F. Sickness or death of the employee. The phrase beyond the control of the employee connotes involuntariness of the part of the employee. In the other words, the separation must not be of his own making. Abandonment of office, such as the registration of subsequent appointment to another office, is considered as a voluntary separation and does not fall within the purview of the phrase for any cause beyond the control of such official or employee. The exemption of termination or separation benefit does not extend to 1. Back wages or illegal deductions repaired by the employer upon termination. 2. Terminal leave pay or the communication of accumulated unused leave credits. To avail of the tax exemption, the employee or his heirs shall request for a ruling or certificate of exemption from the BIR. The request for a CTE and the other requirements documents shall be filed at the RDO where the employer is registered. Illustration 1. Yvonne is an employee of Goldfish Company which closed its business during the year. Yvonne's last paycheck shows the following details. Unpaid salary in the last 2 months, 30,000. Current month salary, 15,000. Separation pay, 100,000. Total pay, 145,000. The current month salary and the 30,000 back wages are subject to income tax. The 100,000 separation pay is an exclusive from gross income, hence not taxable. Illustration 2. Henson's employer was downsizing its business operations. Henson was identified among others to be laid off. To avoid implications of inefficiencies of his part, Henson filed a resignation letter to the company and received a separation pay of 120,000. The separation pay is taxable as compensation income since the underlying reason of the severance of the employment is within the record of the employee. If Henson got terminated without resigning, the separation pay would be exempt. Illustration 3. Mr. Suabe was diagnosed to have a sexually transmitted disease. Due to this, his employer decided to terminate his service but granted him 1 million separation pay. The 1 million separation pay is taxable as STD does not normally render the employee incapable of working. 3. Social Security benefits, retirement gratuities, and other similar benefits from foreign government agencies and other institutions, private or public, received by resident or non-resident citizens or alien who come to settle permanently in the Philippines. Illustration. Jen was an OFW employed by Microsoft Corporation in the USA. Jen retired and returned to permanently settle in the Philippines. He is paid a $2,000 monthly pension from Microsoft's pension fund and another $800 monthly benefit from U.S. Social Security benefit. Both the pension and the Social Security benefits are exempt. Note that these benefits were earned abroad when the taxpayer was a non-resident. Under Citus rule, the foreign income of non-residents is not taxable in the Philippines. This holds true even if the taxpayer subsequently received the income as a resident of the Philippines. 4. United States Veterans Administrations, USVA, administered benefits under the laws of the United States received by any person residing in the Philippines. Illustration. Mr. Jackson is a retired U.S. serviceman from the Iraqi War. He married a beautiful Filipina and settled in the Philippines. He is receiving a $1,000 monthly benefit from USVA. The USVA benefit is excluded in gross income. The same rule applies to USVA benefits for beneficiaries of Filipino veterans who fought under the American flag in the World War II. 5. Social Security System, SSS benefits under RA 8282. 6. GSIS benefits under RA 8291 including retirement gratuity received by government officials and employees. G. Miscellaneous items. That's all. Thank you.